Doggone, this thing is fun. Woohoo! Tell you what, old guys can have fun. I don't know what to say. Isn't it pretty? It's pretty dirty. I thought, well, I'm out having fun today, but we got like 1,500 miles, over 1,500 miles on this bad boy. And I thought I'd do a little review, let you all know some of the issues that I had, which were very minor, and some of the good things about this car. If you didn't know, it is a 2021 Can-Am Maverick X3 XDS Turbo RR, which basically means it's not the top of the line, but this is a 64-inch model. The top of the line is 72. I got the 64 because of the trails in Michigan. A lot of them are limited to 72-inch machines, so we didn't want to be limited by that. And I got the Turbo RR. This one is rated at 195 horsepower, and it'll pin you back in the seat when you get after it, I can tell you. So let me show you. I want to show you this real quick though. Let me show you the mileage, the odometer, so you know I'm not making it up. And one thing this car does that I like is it remembers how fast you have went. So you know how fast you have ever driven with the car. It doesn't change every time you drive it. So let me show you that real quick. Turn the power on. All right, right here we got 15,260, 1,526.5 miles. On these little buttons right here, I'm going to push the menu button. It's got the speed stat. See right there? 89. I did that in a dirt and run out of room. I had to back her off. I think it would have went a little more. So a lot of people ask me how fast this thing goes. This car remembers. Okay, well, that recorded 89. When I actually did the run, the speedometer said 93. I like it 93. It was a ride, but that's what it recorded, was 89 on the machine. Something seems to be a little off. Some of the good things on this car, I can tell you, well, there's more good than bad. Let me tell you the bad stuff that happened first. I drove the car for maybe a month. I've driven this thing in the snow, sand, mud, water. The only thing we don't have around here is really big hills to climb, and we don't have rocks to crawl over. Most of the time we do trail riding with this, and they're sandy and bumpy. There's some small hills, not many jumps and all of that. So that being said, the only thing that happened to me on this thing that wasn't good And it wasn't my fault, wasn't the machine's fault. I was way out in the boonies one day, and I shut the machine off to take a little pause for the cause, if you know what I mean. And I got back in the machine and pushed the button. Nothing happened. It didn't have no juice, no electricity or nothing. I kept pushing the button. I'm going, oh, I called my son and said, you got to come and get me, bring the trailer. And I got to fooling around with the wire that goes to the battery. Okay, the battery on this machine is behind the passenger seat, driver's seat, passenger seat. It's behind here. Whoever put the battery in at the dealership didn't put the wires onto the battery tight enough, and the positive wire come right off. So I put the wire back on the battery, good to go. That happened to me twice, because the negative cable come off after the positive one. But that's the only thing bad that's happened to me in this car. And one thing I wish Can-Am would do is make these seats so you can take them out easy. These are not, they're easy to take out, but you got to take 4 bolts out. Having a quick release on the seat would be nice. But I've checked the belt several times, because you see videos of guys blowing the belt with like 200, 300 miles. Well, I got 1,500 on this one, and I'm kind of nervous. But the belt's in there. It's behind that thing, and pull the cover off. It's easy to do. The belt looks new still. You know, one thing I don't like, I'm going to mention real quick, is on the column right here. You got a P for park, R, N, H, L for your gears, reverse, neutral, high, low. You cannot see those in the dark. So if you're not sure, if you think you're hitting neutral for some reason, and you put her in reverse, step on the gas a little bit, you're going to go backwards and you're not ready for it. I'm going to paint these with white, put some white paint on there so they stick out a little more in the dark. You know, it's attention to detail for Can-Am. I think that right there is a small detail that would be very helpful. Can-Am, if one of you guys work for Can-Am, you ought to mention that to the engineers. You know, something simple it means a lot. Except for doing the Fox tune on the suspension, and I'll put a link to the video I did on that right up there. But after I did the Fox tune and took it out and went from the ground clearance back here, the way it come from the factory, there was maybe 7 inches of clearance underneath there. I did a Fox tune, and went to over 13. So, because the trails that I'm on right now, when you're watching this video, I bottomed out just about all the way around that trail. The car, I hit them bumps doing like 40 miles an hour or whatever. I thought they were very small bumps, and you could feel the car hit the skid plate. So I did the Fox tune. That doesn't happen anymore. But what the Fox tune did do to this car is it raised it up, which is good, and we needed that. It made it a little more stiff. Some of the bumps you feel a little more, but it hasn't bottomed out any. And it made the steering a lot squirrelier, and what I mean by that is a lot more sensitive. So I turned the power steering off, because the back end, you let off the gas after I did the Fox tune, you're going say 40 miles an hour or so, you let off the gas, the back end wants to slide around. So you got to be ready for that. You know, the Fox tune, everybody recommended doing that, what you need to do to get the car up high enough where it's not bottoming out all the time. Yeah, I can't believe I said that in English. To make gas, you could ride her all day and not have any pains in your back or your butt or anything. You know, you sit down in there like a sports car. I love that, because this is a sports car for sure. It's unlimited power. You could be cruising like 50 miles an hour. You punch that gas pedal down, and whoever's behind you is going to get roosted, as you can see in the video here. And she just goes and goes and goes. It pins you right back in the seat. I love that. I just love that. So I just wanted to give you an update on what I found. When the mileage is climbing up there, I start to worry. You know, it squeaks a little bit, but that's because it's wet all the time. If we're not going through water holes and mud holes and whatnot, I wash it quite often. So I used to worry about it being clean and trying to get it back to looking new. That's not going to happen. I'm over that. So if you're new to side-by-sides, you'll get over it, because she's going to be dirty all the time. But we enjoy this machine. I just want to mention real quick, right here is the trail and the trail active. When you're out driving and you have the trail, okay, that's a limited four-wheel drive. If you have the trail mode activated, then you have trail active. Okay, the bottom on the trail mode is, it kicks in the four-wheel drive a little bit. It senses the torque, like when you're taking off and cornering and you punch the gas a little bit, the four-wheel drive will kick in just for a second or two. Trail active, if you have that activated, it kicks it in just a little more, Gives you a little more boost, but I got stuck. Yeah, I got stuck at Silver Lake sand dunes with this thing because I had it in trail active. I'm thinking that's four-wheel drive, which it is, but it doesn't stay in four-wheel drive. So if you're in a spot where you need four-wheel drive, you need to stop the machine, push this right here, the front diff lock, push that button. That's four-wheel drive. You can't do that while you're moving. But you stop the machine, push that diff lock, and if I'd have done that, I probably wouldn't have got stuck at Silver Lake. Well, all in all, I'm happy with buying this car, very happy. This thing is a ton of fun. It's been problem free except for the wires coming loose, and it goes like a bat out of hell. It throws a roost. The 2.0 Bighorn tires that it come with on the beadlock rims, everything that we've driven in here in Michigan, we didn't have no problem with snow, mud, ice, water, sand dunes. They work fine. It's just an amazing car. It's a ton of fun. So I just thought I'd do this quick review. If you're all are interested in getting a side-by-side or getting into it, you just got to figure out what type of riding you're going to do. If you want to go fast, you might want to look at this one. Keep in mind the width of the trails. Most people are going to go trail riding, so that's a big factor to keep in mind when you're looking at any comments, suggestions, or whatever, leave them in the comments below. I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.